Hey everybody, so what we're going to go over are the 3 top questions you should be asking of an agent that you're interviewing. So you understand, you're about to invest tens of thousands of dollars working with a real estate broker, and don't you owe it to you and your family to make sure that you are making that best decision? To do that, we're going to give you the top 3 questions to ask, plus we're going to give you some bonus questions at the very end, again, to ensure that you are working with the correct person. All right, so with that, or team actually, let's get the show rolling here. So the first thing that you want to ask, okay, what is the online marketing systems that you have that attract buyers to my home? In other words, putting your home in the MLS is not marketing, right? So we have direct response type ads. You have your pay-per-click type of ads. You have syndication. What does that mean? So the MLS is much like a grocery store. So we have here, we've got, the QFC ad. And I'm sure that you have seen these, whether it's at, Whole Foods or Fred Meyer's or Safeway, whatever it is, everybody has these ads in the store. Well, why is that? I mean, you're in the store. You should have access to everything. You should know everything that's in that store, right? And the answer is no. Why? Okay, so there are thousands of products in the store. Just like in the MLS, there are thousands of homes in the MLS at any one time. But there's nothing for them to raise that flag that says, hey, you need to come and look at me. So they create these little flyers. And that is super cool because that is what it accomplishes. All right. So the MLS is the same thing. So there are different demographics that you need to target. So let's say, as an example, a home we were out at, it had an ADU, which could be a business. It could be short-term rental. It could be long-term rental. It could be somebody who wants a home business. So a lot of different demographics that targets. But the MLS does not pull that out. It does not differentiate. That's why in a grocery store, you see these because it's called marketing. Now, when you take a look at this is it's not marketing. When you put your property in the MLS, of course, it goes out to real estate companies. Of course, it goes out to Redfin and Trulia and Zillow and Realtor.com. These are natural syndications that automatically happen. That is not marketing. This is marketing. So when you take a look at a specific piece of marketing material where you can see that people are putting up ads, demographic ads to target, doing split ads, and actually spending dollars to get eyeballs on your home, because that's what you want. You want the greatest number of eyeballs on your home, which gives you the highest probability of getting the most amount of money in the least amount of time with the fewest hassles. All right. So when you take a look at this, here's another classic example of what you should be looking for as far as a test for an A, a test for a B. Split testing is what we call it. And looking at what does it do, how many people does it attract, and at the end of the day, does it create more eyeballs on your home, more showings on your home? Because at the end of the day, if you have more people looking at your home, there is a higher probability you're going to get more dollars in your pocket. Now, video syndication, absolutely without a doubt, is a must. Now, I'm not talking about just doing a hokey pokey ad. We're talking about, again, targeting demographics, making sure that it is tag rich so that the people who are out there in the market that aren't, having your home top of mind, or maybe, didn't realize that your home is a great fit, that it would target them. All right. So video syndication is an absolute must. And we're talking about them and their specific marketing group. Now, when you talk about where do you market? Hey, listen, there are over 300 different websites that you can target depending on the demographic that you are looking at, that you should be having your home in front of those buyers. Yes, that takes time. That takes a team. That takes a marketing effort. And you just can't put it in the MLS and expect that result. You can't just put it on Facebook as to, hey, here's a post on my page to say, hey, listen, everybody that I know, I just listed a house. That is not marketing. Making sure you're targeting that market is what is most important. Now, let's talk about the next one. Number 2 are performance guarantees. What you'd want to make sure that you don't do is get caught by what we call the horse whisperer, right? The horse whisperer tells you that price that you want to hear. They tell you what you want to hear, the horse whisperer, because those are people that we call buying a listing. You need to make sure that they have skin in the game. If they make a mistake on price, you pay the difference. You, as a seller, have to dismiss dollars that would normally go in your pocket and have to give it up. You take the level of excitement out of a home when you overprice. Now, there are a lot of agents, unfortunately, that will buy a listing. Why? Because that's their tactic to say, oh, we can get you $1.5 million in their house. Your home may only be worth 1.3, but they know that they'll just beat you down on price later. And that is not what benefits you. That takes money, robs money from your family, and puts you in a negative negotiating position. So you need to have somebody who's going to put skin in the game to ensure you get that honest price promise, right? So your home is sold at a price acceptable to you, or we will pay you the difference. Now, if you'd like to hear more about that, hey, click the link below. All right, book of buyers. Here's the funny thing. You see, if an agent has a book of buyers, they will bring it or they will present it, okay? But here's the funny thing. The average agent will only start looking for a buyer for your home after they sign the listing. Well, that does you no good. You need somebody who's constantly attracting buyers, somebody who's percolating. I mean, that's their business, to percolate, to capture buyers, because a seller wants a buyer and a buyer wants a seller. It's as simple as that. But if they do not have systems in place to continually attract buyers, well, that is something completely different and, well, probably not in your best interest. So if they did not bring a book of buyers or talk about their book of buyers, they probably don't have one, and therefore do not have the systems in place to ensure you get the most amount of money in the least amount of time with fewest hassles. Now, let's go into our bonus questions here. So other super important questions: how many sales per year do you close? That is super critical because it allows you the ability to get an idea of how much volume they do. What is the percent of close rate? That is super important because what it does from the list price to the sales price, what was that relationship? In other words, did they give you that honest promise guarantee? What is your marketing budget for attracting buyers? Well, that's a super great question, because if they're actually marketing, they know a budget per home or what it takes to attract buyers and that syndication cost, right? Yeah, let's keep going. Show us how you market to different demographic buyers. Again, super important. If your home has more uses than just a home, which many of them do, you want to make sure that you are targeting that demographic. Super important. Why? Again, it increases more eyeballs on your home, higher propensity of getting multiple offers, and a higher probability of getting more dollars in your pocket. All right, let's get to the last one here. Tell us how you bring an offer to us after 10 days of being on market. Okay, that's going to be a super important question, because you see, the average agent out there, well, they actually wait for a buyer to come to them and present an offer. What do they do to proactively bring a buyer to the table other than marketing? In other words, how else do they do this? Do they do a reverse offer proposal? Want to know more about that? Click the link below. In the meantime, this is the 3 top questions plus those bonus questions on how to get the most amount of money in the least amount of time in your pocket by asking those top 3 questions. In the meantime, you have an absolutely beautiful day. I will see you on the next video. Take care.